I have spent the last 4 years trying to introduce Taiwan and to learn more about Taiwanese culture. But I can guarantee that I have learned more about Taiwanese women during these past 4 weeks in Bali than during my entire 4 years as a YouTuber back home in Taiwan. During these couple of weeks, I have a list of my top things that I have learned about Minthia, who in this video will represent all the Taiwanese women. This is actually our last week here in Bali. The last weekend is about to start. How do you think we have done so far?
It was okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Because this is actually like our first real trip together. If you survive the first trip, or in Sweden, if you survive the first visit to IKEA, then the relationship will last for a very, very long time. So far, knock on wood, our relationship is stronger than ever.
I think because it's a bit different, we stay in the villa, people clean the room for us.
Otherwise, I would have to be cleaning this room every single day.
Well, you have to be clean. Like, 有些习惯真的是有时候真的会受不了。
Don't worry, we will be talking about the cleanliness as well later in this video. But first, we will actually start with something that I discovered even before we arrived here in Bali. Taiwanese women, meaning Minthia at least, is just terrible at packing. We literally took up like the entire check-in counter, and I think you spent like 30 minutes repacking and packing your suitcase.
So that's why you need to go to the airport earlier and also bring your boyfriend along with.
As some of you might know, she actually came here to Bali a week before me, but I went with her to the airport with an empty suitcase because I knew that there was just gonna be so much leftovers that I have to bring with me back home, and then a week later bring with me as my luggage when I will come here to Bali as well. And I think in total it was actually 9 kilos overweight. That's like more than my actual luggage.
Why you even remember the number? As a girl, you just have so much thing in your brain. And I was like a lot of things that I would use it, and I have like 5 weeks trip here. Some skin products, you know, some...
some skin products.
For hair. Oh, hair dryer.
是什么？
那个气球充气的那个。
为什么在这个？
因为我买气球啊。
你为什么买气球？
My birthday, I want to have balloon for my birthday. So 我就要充气。
Next thing, which is something that I already knew about since we have been dating for a couple of years. The bed is like the cleanest thing in the entire apartment, and clothes are like the dirtiest thing you can ever have. And it's like as soon as you open the door and the clothes had been like outside of your apartment, your clothes automatically goes from like washed to like super dirty, even if you even haven't like touched anything. But just by having the clothes outside, it becomes like dirty clothes.
Yeah, if you go outside, like there's some dirt, something will get on your clothes, and then like, ugh, so gross, no? And then like if you want to go on the bed with like sweaty body or like dirty clothes, and then like even sometimes we sleep without clothes, our pajama or something, it just feels like gross, you know?
I have to admit, of course, if I'm feeling sweaty, and I have been sweaty during the day, of course I'm like taking a shower. But as most Taiwanese people and also foreigners living in Taiwan already should know at this point, Taiwanese people always shower right before bed. Where are you in Sweden, if everything is like, if you're cold the whole day, you don't sweat during the day, maybe you don't necessarily need to take a shower before going to sleep. Speaking about the bed and no clothes, another thing I realized is that Taiwanese women loves to be naked all the time. Like all the time. I'm not complaining, I'm just a little bit surprised. Like all the time.
Well, if you're comfortable at home, sometimes it's just like, not forgot to wear it, it's just feel free, I guess.
Please do let me know in the comment section, Team Lukas, if you prefer wearing clothes even in your own home if you're all alone, or Team Minthia if you prefer the more natural approach, so to speak. And on the somewhat similar topic, oversharing is something that I feel that Taiwanese people in general are pretty good at, but Taiwanese women, it's like mind-blowing. When women in Sweden are telling you that they're gonna go to the bathroom, they wouldn't even tell you, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Why?
Powdering my nose,
so weird.
or I need to like retouch my face or whatever, you know. Whereas in Taiwan, not only would the women say like, I need to go to the bathroom, they would like explicitly explain to you what they want to do in the bathroom. During certain times during the month, they would specifically let you know while they are going to the bathroom as well.
Yeah, sharing is caring. I want you to know everything about my life. Share every moment.
Yeah, but there's some moments I don't necessarily need to be part
You
of.
guys are just too serious, you know?
Colleagues or like not so close friends would also not have a problem sharing.
Yeah.
And it would be like, oh, 你知道吗? Oh, 昨天拉肚子. Didn't even ask for this. I asked like, what did you do yesterday? Next up on the list is the overall food intake and food consumption and the cleanliness around it. And oh my God, like during these last couple of weeks, I have learned more ways of not eating food that I even knew that I knew. Eating a bag of chips is like the most risky thing you can do as a foreigner guy, I feel. Like there's so many ways to upset Taiwanese women by just one bag of chips. This part of the video is sponsored by Minthia, who went out and bought us 2 bags of chips.
You see the problem there? Do you see the problem there? You have trash on the ground.
No, but that was just because
Pick it up.
That was just because this bag has bad design. Well, at least now the bag is open, so now you cannot screw up anything else, right?
No! Why can't not you eat with 2 fingers only? Look, if you do like this, just pick it out with your 2 fingers, your hands will get less dirty and then you eat it. And then you always like, oh, do your way and show people. Yeah. Show people. Such a wrong way to eat chips. Oh my God, 你看, you use like, I don't know what, 4 fingers. And don't do that. 你这样, if you do like this and all your hands will get so dirty, and then if you want to clean it or something, it's gonna be harder. And if you use 2 fingers eating like this, if you want to clean it, it's just like easier, much easier this way.
I agree in this specific example, since this was all designed by you. Of course, you come up as the cleaner one here. But when we go and we watch a movie and we order like a popcorn together to share, the rules are you can only eat the popcorn one by one, and you can only touch with 2 fingers maximum if you want popcorn. And the absolute worst thing, which is like how I eat popcorn all the time, is because we're sharing popcorn, right? And I don't want to like grab and put my fingers like in at the same time. I would pour some popcorn in my hand.
Oh.
And then I would eat with my other hand from that one, which is like, it's a polite way of saying like, I'm not gonna occupy the big bag of popcorn.
You can use tissue put on your hands first. First, your hand might not be clean. Second, you might touch my hair or my clothes by accident without you even thinking.
It could happen.
I mean, it happens all the time.
You're supposed to shower every night before you go to bed anyway. What's the point?
No, but like if you touch the chips and your hand is so greasy and like oily and stuff, and then you just like dun 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 dun, it's like, huh.
So as you can tell, some of us are very passionate when it comes to the food and cleanliness. So I think it's time for us.
No, it's more about like your hands gonna get so dirty, and then you're gonna touch me afterwards. Ugh. Okay, sorry, this annoys me so much. If you agree with me, please leave a comment below.
I can feel like you're like genuinely upset right now.
No, I just feel very uncomfortable. Your hands and oh, 你看. You were eating the chip with your hands, and now your microphone is so dirty.
Just don't touch my microphone. Okay, I think in order to save this relationship, it is now time to move over to the next point on my list, which also is about time, and that is that Taiwanese women are actually never on time. If you set up a date, okay, let's meet at 5 at this restaurant. At 5:20, she may or may not show up.
I do. I only late for 10 to 15 minutes, I think, average.
Okay. Just imagine that you're gonna catch a plane. It doesn't matter if you're 1 minute late or 1 hour late. If you're late, you're late. In Taiwan, it's more like if I text within 15 minutes of me being late, then it's fine, and then I can be as late as I want. Now, my point is, the reason for why this is on my list now, is that now I actually get the insight of what is happening during like the 15-20 minutes leading up to the point we're saying we're gonna do something, which is like a 30 minutes of doing everything from like the hair, the makeup, brushing your teeth, putting on like all kinds of like, I was gonna say lipstick around your eyes, but whatever you put on, mascara on your eyes. And it's just like this whole process that just takes forever. But my question is, you obviously know like 15 minutes before that you're not gonna be on time. You're not gonna be outside of the door the time we have decided to meet at a restaurant. Why during no point of this do you, one, look at the clock or a time to know what time it is? It's like you have their entire makeup process, which is like an hour, but during this entire hour, you never look at your watch, so you don't keep track on the time. And 2, why?
Yeah, so angry. Why? So angry.
Why? This is like my therapy session right here. Why don't you just like tell me that I might be late. Don't have to start preparing yourself until I tell you that I am done.
Sometimes you just don't know when will you be done, you know?
You can say that, you know. Hey Siri, please text Lucas that I will be late until the unforeseeable future.
But I never been like late, you know, like 10 minutes. 还好吧? Me and my friend, we always like, okay, let's go to night market around, I don't know, 10. We never really said like, okay, let's meet there at 10. But if you're going to a restaurant, we have a reservation, we will be more on time. Restaurant, you only have 10 minutes time to be late.
Okay, I'm gonna start blaming the Taiwanese restaurants. They should just have like a 1 minute rule.
缓冲时间啊，有时候就是 like a traffic or something happen, you know.
Maybe it's down to the restaurants then. I'm still upset, but I'm upset with the restaurants and not with you then.
How about you can tell me the time a little bit earlier? I'm trying to solve the problem for our relationship.
Yeah.
I can be maybe better with my time.
And if you promise to do this, then I promise to be a little bit better when it comes to cleaning and eating food as well.
You know what? I'm just never eat cheap with you. No, you see? See 你的hand. There's something will be in my mind whole day before you wash your hands.
So close, so close.
I'm really like, this is my thing.
And speaking of Minthia's thing, another thing that I've noticed, that there are just so many rules when you are living together with a Taiwanese woman. And it has never been a problem during like 32 years of my life. But then as soon as you live together with a Taiwanese woman, ends up being the biggest issue ever. For example, in our own apartments, you need to wear flip-flops. You need to wear sandals. You think that my apartment is dirty?
Oh yeah, super dirty. 超脏的。圆圆也都没整理。
Do you think that your apartment is clean?
Cleaner than yours?
But
after shower, you still need to wear like slippers because I don't want your feet to touch the ground before you get on the bed.
just to give a little bit perspective here. So in her apartment, it's a small like studio apartment. It's basically like 3 steps between the shower and the bed. And I would still have to like take the time, put on a pair of flip-flops, take 3 steps, take off the same pair of flip-flops, and then go into the bed, making sure that my feet cannot touch the floor.
How long you need to put on a flip-flop? I always prepare for you, put it in front of the bathroom. You just need to like step in it. 0.1 second.
Sometimes I forget, and I shouldn't tell you this. Sometimes I walk to the bed and I forget to bring the sandals. And I know that you will check, so you will check where my sandals are. So sometimes I have to walk back to the shower just so I can bring the flip-flops. So then I end up walking like double the distance. But yeah, I shouldn't have told you that. And you're right, I don't want to make this about me complaining about you and about my girlfriend. But with that said, there's one thing left on the list.
等一下, there's no more on your list.
It comes to me naturally sometimes. And that is Taiwanese women, based on my experience living with one of the Taiwanese women, they're super indecisive and they honestly cannot decide a single thing. And if they do, they will change the decision 3-4 times before it actually happens. Specifically when it comes to decide on where to go and eat.
There are so many good restaurants. Sometimes you just like check the review, like say this one is good, they say that one is good, and then you want to go both of them.
Minthia herself has a very unique rule when it comes to choosing restaurants. It always ends up like this. She wants me to pick 3 options and then she gets to decide. If I come up with 3 options, you choose a restaurant. In my logical way, that would mean that the next 2 times we're gonna go somewhere, we already have those restaurants decided.
Why?
Because those already made it to my top 3 list.
Okay, oh wait.
So
sometimes you just know which one I will pick, right? And then just like pick another 2 that I definitely not gonna pick. So it will be easier for me to decide.
I'm trying to help you a little bit.
Yeah, but that other 2 options is not a restaurant that I even want to go to.
The amount of time that you sometimes would spend researching, deciding where to go, is often longer than it will take to eat.
Yeah.
you know, we could have gone to like 3 restaurants during this time.
Sometimes you just like you look at the review, you look some blogger sharing information and stuff, and it just.
Now when I'm thinking about this, and based on what we talked about in the previous video,
he just pop out on my suggestion. 然后就I think 看过这个人在 YouTube 上面，然后呢我就也加他的。
You're actually spending longer time thinking about which restaurant to go to than which boyfriend you will end up with. Because I just showed up as a suggestion on Instagram, and you were like, yeah, sounds good. It will never happen with a restaurant. You would like spend so much time checking with other restaurants.
Why did I have another option? Instagram, tell me why.
So there you have just a few things that I have picked up when it comes to Taiwanese women during my first 1 trial month living with, in my opinion, the best Taiwanese woman. And hopefully, who knows, maybe this video could also help some other foreigners who are currently living in Taiwan and considering starting to date or maybe move in with some other Taiwanese women as well. Mintia might be indecisive sometimes. Hopefully you know exactly what to do right now, and that is to like this video and also share this video with someone who you think should get an insight into our relationship, but also see the cultural differences between a foreigner and a Taiwanese. And if you do want to support me a little bit extra, please also consider becoming a YouTube channel member or give me some super thanks on YouTube or some stars on Facebook, since 100% of these donations will go straight back into the channel so we can make more and better videos about Taiwan every single week. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. It starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.